Yeah. Everybody mad at me because I'm talking about T.I. sister, but they cheering King on with 50 Mama.
Charleston White just lit up the internet after blasting King Harris for speaking on 50 Cent, and the situation is way messier than people expected. Instead of backing the young rapper, White shocked everyone by siding with 50 on this one, leaving King right in the middle of the backlash. Fans online immediately started reacting, and the whole moment turned into a loud debate across social media. In this video, we are breaking down everything Charleston White said about King Harris and what it could mean for the young rapper moving forward. The drama didn't just appear out of nowhere either. It actually connects to an old rivalry that many people thought had cooled off years ago. Now the tension is heating up again, and people are paying close attention to how this plays out. The real question in the center of this drama is simple but explosive.
I told T.I. he should have kicked that boy when last year. If T.I. would have kicked that boy last year, that boy wouldn't have had to jack him up.
What happens when someone's son jumps into a rap beef that has been sitting in the background for nearly 2 decades and brings up a deceased woman while defending his living mother? That single move sparked intense reactions and pulled a lot of attention back onto a conflict many believed was finished. This situation kicked off around February 20th, 2026, and like many moments in hip-hop, it started with old tension that never truly disappeared. 50 Cent and T.I. have had issues going all the way back to 2007. During a Hot 97 interview that year, 50 Cent questioned anyone calling themselves the king of hip-hop, and everybody recognized it as a direct shot at T.Y., who had proudly crowned himself the king of the South. After dropping his 2006 album King, T.I. sat down with Angie Martinez feeling confident about the title he gave himself. But 50 Cent quickly threw shade at the whole idea and asked a sharp question during the conversation: who decides that, the fans or the rapper? That comment hit a nerve immediately. I took it personally, and from that moment, the tension between them started building in public. Later that same year, the situation got even more awkward when 50 Cent showed up at T.I.'s Screamfest stage alongside Jay-Z and Kanye West. Suddenly, the quiet tension had faces, names, and a lot of eyes watching the moment unfold. Fans could feel something brewing between the two camps.
And King is behaving and going on with these kind of actions and inactions and traits and characteristics.
Then 2008 arrived, and T.Y.'s federal gun case finally wrapped up with a 1-year sentence, even though he had been facing the possibility of decades behind bars. Around that time, 50 Cent jumped on a G-Unit track and started throwing lyrical shots that had everybody talking. The lyrics questioned how someone could be linked to so many weapons but end up with only a short sentence. In many neighborhoods, people were already whispering theories, and those lines only pushed the rumors louder.
Of a delinquent, criminal-minded boy, then you open up and you're failing as a father. Tip stuff. Clifford?
The tension did not disappear either. In September 2010, T.Y. and Tiny ran into more trouble when they were hit with drug charges involving possession that resembled ecstasy. T.I. ended up serving about 11 months after violating his parole, and 50 Cent went online questioning why Tiny did not take responsibility for the situation. That comment stirred up another wave of debate across hip-hop fans. T.I. eventually addressed the situation in a 2011 Vibe interview and shut the rumors down fast. He made it clear nobody in his family would ever be pressured into catching a case for someone else, and he said anyone pushing that idea was acting like a coward. Not long after that, the two artists quietly cooled things off through a phone call set up by mutual friends. 50 Cent later told Vibe that neither of them even asked for the call, it simply happened through people they both respected. For several years after that, everything went quiet. The beef basically went to sleep, but it never fully disappeared. Then in July 2020, on 50 Cent's 45th birthday, T.I. suddenly challenged him to a versus battle. He told 50 to show up with 20 records and get this work, but 50 just laughed the whole thing off and kept it moving.
I'm on the set of 50 couldn't activate it. 50 Cent tried to say don't nobody activate T.I. like I do it.
Things got even louder when 50 Cent posted a joke saying somebody must have passed T.I. the same weed that Smokey had in Friday. That comment instantly went viral and had fans laughing all over social media. But I was not amused at all and kept pushing the issue. T.I. later went on Hot 97 and told Ebro that he and 50 Cent were evenly matched when it came to music and impact. He even said there was a 900-pound gorilla inside him ready for the challenge, making it clear he wanted that versus battle to happen.
Boy showing out at the Falcons game, embarrassing the family. This is the
By September 2020, T.I. was publicly demanding a date for the matchup and throwing little jabs, even calling 50 a young baboon face, while the internet watched the tension grow. 50 Cent fired back in his usual trolling style. He joked about T.I.'s beard and even asked where his trap museum exhibit was, keeping the exchange playful but sharp at the same time. Behind the scenes, the two reportedly talked about doing the versus while they were both moving around Los Angeles and even performing shows in the same areas. But despite all that talk, nothing ever actually came together. In 2021, 50 Cent explained on The Morning Hustle that once people started going back outside after lockdowns, the versus format didn't feel as exciting anymore. Still, T.I. kept pushing the idea. At the September 2021 BMF premiere after party, he even grabbed the mic and told the crowd to pressure 50 into making the battle happen. Meanwhile, 50 just stood there smiling, clearly entertained, and never gave a real answer.
Now y'all of a sudden, boy, you disrespecting Tippy. You done got so, well, you disrespecting Tiny and Tippy.
Then the whole situation flared up again in February 2026. On February 6th, T.Y. appeared on the Nightcap podcast and brought the versus conversation right back into the spotlight, saying 50 was avoiding the challenge. He explained that he originally wanted to face Gucci Mane, but eventually switched his focus to 50 instead. 50 responded the very next day with a post that stirred up even more controversy. He shared old Crime Stoppers footage, along with a clip connected to T.Y.'s 2008 testimony related to the Philance Johnson case, adding a caption warning T.I. to keep his name out of certain conversations. He even tagged T.I. with the phrase King Rat, which instantly set social media on fire. By February 12th, after seeing the King Rat comment under a video featuring T.I. and Kevin Hart, T.I. fired back again. This time, he claimed he had paperwork on 50 Cent, pushing the drama to a whole new level and pulling even more attention to their long-running rivalry. The situation kept heating up when T.I. started calling 50 Cent soft and said he had completely lost respect for him.
You was born into a situation and circumstances and an environment that most kids dream about, mother. You wasn't born into some horrible conditions.
Then on February 22nd, T.I. sat down on $1 million worth of game and opened up about the whole situation. He claimed that while they were doing shows in Los Angeles, the two of them had already agreed to a versus battle and even shook hands on it. According to T.I., 50 later backed out, and that made him start questioning 50's character in a serious way. That same day, 50 Cent jumped on Instagram and posted an unflattering photo of Tiny Harris that instantly caught people's attention. In the caption, he told T.I. to stop mentioning his name, which only made the online tension explode even more. The comment section quickly turned into a battlefield of fans picking sides. I didn't stay quiet either.
Listen, y'all don't know, me and 50 been around for a minute. 50 ain't go, listen, me and G-Unit, Murder done put me in 2 songs. See, y'all don't know, me and 50 been behind the scenes.
He went straight into the comments and fired back, calling 50 a broke boy and saying it didn't matter what photo he posted because, in his words, 50 was still beneath him. The back and forth was already loud, but things took an even more shocking turn when King Harris stepped into the situation. King Harris, the son of T.Y. and Tiny, who was about 21 years old, jumped onto Instagram with a heated rant while defending his mother. During the post, he brought up 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, who passed away in 1983 when 50 was just 8 years old.
Each other for a minute now. Nigga, I'm rocking with 50 till the wheels fall off. It's all right for King to talk about his mama, but I can't talk about T.I.
The post included a picture of a gravestone and a message telling 50 where his mother was buried, while also saying his own mother deserved respect. The comments quickly spread across social media, with many people reacting to how far the argument had gone. 50 Cent's mother's passing has long been known as a painful moment in his life, something he has spoken about many times over the years. He has explained in interviews that losing her at such a young age shaped the way he approached life and the music industry. So when the post started circulating online, many fans felt the situation had crossed into very personal territory.
Sister, stay out of this now. I'm in it. Just because you're not a content creator, I'm a content creator, and this is the hottest thing on the internet.
Later that night and into the next day, T.I. added more fuel to the tension by dropping a track called War. In the song, he compared the situation to waking up a sleeping giant and disturbing a hibernating bear, sending a clear message that he felt pushed into responding. The rivalry that once seemed buried was suddenly alive again and louder than ever.
You think I don't know how to attach my name to the algorithm? Checkmate. Checkmate.
T.I. kept the pressure going and followed up with another track called The Right One, where he took direct aim at 50 Cent's legacy. In the song, he questioned why 50 seemed quick to challenge people in his own community but never had that same energy for others outside of it. The message was sharp, and fans quickly started debating every line online. Then another response arrived called Lessons.
You are so a block. I'm getting rich out there.
And the artwork immediately caught people's attention. The cover showed a skeletal version of 50 Cent inspired by his role in All Things Fall Apart, turning the visual into a bold statement. At that point, the situation was no longer just about T.I., because members of his family also stepped into the conversation.
Shit, nigga, you seen that big old, you seen that $20,000, $30,000 I put in you nigga face today? I called Rod so big, I'm getting rich.
T.I.'s sons joined the moment as well. Damani released a track called Ms. Jackson, flipping an Outkast sample while the artwork showed a burning house. The song felt like an open letter, almost like a family statement being delivered to the public. Soon after, King Harris dropped a video called Say Less, and that clip instantly sparked reactions all over social media.
Who wouldn't ride almost a billionaire? You ride niggas you don't even know. Like T.I., I'm blocking everybody coming. Hold on.
In the video, King wore a shirt printed with the face of 50 Cent's late mother while performing the song, which immediately became one of the most talked about moments in the entire situation. At one point, he pointed toward the image while rapping about mothers who had passed away.
Blocking everybody need to come and get out your boy. T.I.
The clip spread fast, and even Rick Ross jumped into the comments saying he wanted that shirt, adding a loud public cosign that caught everyone's attention. Through all of this noise, 50 Cent never released a diss track. Instead, he leaned into his usual internet trolling. He compared King to Pepe the Frog and turned the entire rant into a meme.
Sister, ain't nobody gonna do nothing, nigga. T.I. got 12 allegations on it. Him and his say King, you Charleston block.
Trying to make the situation look ridiculous rather than serious. He even posted an old childhood photo of King with the caption, "God don't like ugly," which kept the online jokes rolling. When Tina Knowles reposted the photo of Tiny and showed support, 50 responded again with another post featuring Tina along with a Solange elevator gif, joking that things were starting to look strange. At that point, it felt like everybody was somehow getting pulled into the conversation.
Oh, let me get a grab. Block. Anybody typing block? Yeah.
Eventually, 50 wiped several of the beef posts from his page and joked, "I'm out of here. You guys hurt my feelings." He even handed out what he called the stupid award to T.I. before disappearing from the back and forth. And right in the middle of all that chaos, Charleston White suddenly stepped into the spotlight. In late February 2026, across several live streams and social media posts, Charleston White gave his blunt opinion about King Harris joining the argument.
T.I., the Harris family. Say them niggas went to the studio booth and went to rapping. Them niggas need some money.
His message was direct and loud. He said T.I. should have taught his son to stay out of grown people's business, making it clear he did not approve of King getting involved. Charleston White didn't hold back when he spoke about the situation. He described King Harris as a young guy who overstepped by inserting himself into a conflict between two veterans who had been going back and forth for nearly 20 years.
Can't none of y'all rap. Me and 50 ain't no rapping nigga. I dropped the song, did 22 million streams on it.
In White's view, this was never supposed to be a battle involving the next generation, and he made that point loudly during his live streams. But White didn't stop at just talking about it. He took things further by posting a photo connected to T.I.'s late sister, mirroring the same family-for-family energy that King had started when he brought up 50 Cent's mother. White explained his reasoning very clearly.
22 million streams to T.I. this song. And I got a recorded song, nigga, with that nigga. Hold on, let me see if I can play it. I got your dad on recording crying, boy.
If someone could pull a deceased family member into the argument online, then suddenly the entire conversation had crossed into dangerous territory where no family member was off limits. He also pointed out what he believed was a huge double standard. According to White, some people online were cheering King for disrespecting a deceased woman, but those same voices were criticizing him for responding in a similar way toward T.I.'s family. White framed himself as someone speaking his mind, not a person chasing attention or views.
I got your dad, listen, say King Harry, listen how I talk to your pappy.
Then he pushed the conversation even further. White argued that if T.I. was truly guiding his son the right way, then King jumping into a heated conflict like this reflected a deeper parenting issue. His comments quickly spread across social media and sparked another wave of debate among fans.
Hold on, let me play how I talk to your pappy, boy. Let me show Charleston White. Where did Charleston White this song get? T.I. did.
During that same live stream, Charleston White kept talking and went even deeper into his criticism of King Harris. He started breaking down what he believed King's behavior revealed about his future, his upbringing, and the environment he grew up in. White made it clear he wasn't just reacting to a single post. In his mind, this situation showed bigger issues behind the scenes. White also took direct shots at T.I., but instead of using his usual name, he repeatedly called him Tipster and Clifford. Those were not random choices.
This how I talk to your pappy. Had it be bleed. Charleston White.
White used those names on purpose to strip away the image T.I. built over the years, including the whole King of the South identity that fans know him for. Then White made another bold claim during the stream. He said he had actually been connected with 50 Cent and the G-Unit circle behind the scenes for years. According to him, he had appeared in G-Unit songs before and had communicated with 50 privately. White described himself as someone already tied to that camp, not just a random commentator jumping into the drama.
T.I. this. Yeah, I'm the police. Talking about I'm the police. Yeah, I'm the police.
He even said straight up that he had been rocking with 50 Cent and planned to stand with him until the wheels fall off. In White's mind, he was the perfect partner in this situation. In fact, White compared the whole moment to professional wrestling. He said he was ready for 50 Cent to tag him into the fight, like a wrestler standing on the ropes with his hands stretched out waiting to jump in.
I got your dad on recording, boy.
White also argued that 50 had tried to provoke T.Y. before, but never fully got the reaction he wanted. According to White, he believed he was the one person with the history, the bold personality, and the fearless attitude needed to truly get under the Harris family's skin.
One Crime Stopper phone call like your daddy.
Judging by the amount of reactions his post pulled online, Charleston White might not have been exaggerating about the attention he brings. His comments spread quickly across social media, with people arguing, reposting clips, and debating everything he said. But that raises a big question for many viewers. Who exactly is Charleston White, and why does his voice suddenly carry so much weight in moments like this?
You remember they had your daddy? They was dangling him around, doing all, hey, this is T.I.P. Tipster.
Charleston White is a 48-year-old comedian, motivational speaker, and internet personality from Fort Worth, Texas. His life story started with serious challenges early on. When he was about 7 years old, he lost his right eye in an accident, a traumatic event that shaped the way he viewed the world from a very young age.
You make sure you call 1-800-CRIME-STOPPER. If you know something, you need something, tell something. 1-800-TIP Tipster. Remember your dad?
As a teenager, his life took another difficult turn. Around the age of 14, he was involved in a robbery at a Foot Locker in Arlington, Texas, that ended tragically when someone he was with shot and killed a store clerk. White later testified in the case and spent time in juvenile detention facilities because of his involvement in the incident. And after those early struggles, White eventually changed direction. He went on to earn a criminal justice degree from Texas Wesleyan University and later co-founded Hype.
It was Tipster for a little bit. Remember, he was T.I., then he was T.I.P., but when he got caught with all them guns, he had to be Tipster for him.
A non-profit organization focused on mentoring at-risk youth and helping young people avoid the same path that once pulled him in. Today, his entire online persona is built around speaking boldly about topics many people avoid. White often says the things others are afraid to say and delivers his opinions loudly enough that the internet cannot ignore him. He has even embraced the criticism he receives from his past testimony.
The boy was giving out tips and he was teaching kids how to tell on one another. Remember? I saw it. You was a little bitty boy, King, so you don't remember all that. You think
turning that label into something he openly talks about while challenging parts of rap culture and what he believes are contradictions within it. Charleston White often argues that the culture around him can be full of contradictions. He says people sometimes praise someone for speaking up when it benefits them, but criticize that same behavior when the situation changes. According to White, the reaction often depends on who is speaking and how much influence they have online.
Your daddy is sparkle clean. No, boy got a little dirt on his name, Kane. And listen to me, Kane. They sent you over to go live with your
White himself has also faced legal trouble in the past, including charges such as aggravated assault and animal cruelty. He has publicly claimed that those situations were either misunderstandings or acts of self-defense, which adds another complicated layer to the public image he presents online.
Grandmama, you wasn't over here with your that's why you so unruly now. Rest of them kids are well behaved.
In September 2025, White made headlines again after a heated moment at Tougaloo College. During a debate event on campus, his comments about historically black colleges and universities and his remarks about racism and student life sparked immediate backlash. The discussion quickly turned tense, and White ended up leaving the campus as the situation escalated. His tension with the Harris family actually started long before the 2026 drama. Over the years, White has mentioned past disagreements with T.I. and even claimed there were diss tracks and confrontations between them.
You over there raised with Miss Lily. Miss Lily didn't know how to discipline Lee. But listen, you was over there staying with you.
At one point, T.I. publicly referred to White as a parasite, which only added more heat to the rivalry. There were also moments where King Harris spoke out toward White in the past. Each time that happened, White responded with strong warnings that made it clear he was not backing down. This wasn't a brand new conflict at all. It was an old rivalry that suddenly had fresh fuel added to it.
Mama, you don't know nothing about going how your daddy was. Just say, listen, let me play this song first. I'm gonna get to you. I'll say, I'm telling you, boy, I've been waiting for some.
White also pointed back to a moment in November 2023 when King Harris had a heated outburst at an Atlanta Falcons game. That clip spread all over the internet and became one of the first times many people saw King's fiery personality on full display for the entire country to watch. According to Charleston White, King Harris's 2026 rant did not come out of nowhere. In his view, it was the result of a long pattern that had been building for years.
Like this real, I've been a meddling I was a little bit boy. I don't know how to mind my business.
White argued that T.I. never truly stepped in to correct certain behavior and that King had been moving recklessly without facing serious consequences because of his family name in public spotlight. White's point was simple but harsh. He believed King had been protected by fame, money, and the reputation of his parents for a long time.
And me and your daddy talking, King. He called me with JP on the phone. Them niggas tried to big dog me 2 against 1.
But eventually, that protection runs into someone who simply does not care about status or influence. And that is exactly how White framed the clash involving 50 Cent. When people look back, they realize King Harris already had several public incidents attached to his name before the 50 Cent situation even started. By early 2026, the 21-year-old had built a reputation online as someone very outspoken, extremely loyal to his family, and still trying to figure out how to handle life while growing up in the shadow of one of Atlanta's most famous rappers.
See the time, your daddy called me, nigga, he had to have backup on the phone. So, I didn't record the conversation.
One of King's earliest viral moments happened in May 2022 when he was about 17 years old. During an Instagram live stream at a Waffle House in the Atlanta area, a disagreement started over pickles on his food order. When staff reminded him about a no-cursing policy after he complained, the argument escalated quickly and turned into a tense scene that viewers watched unfold live.
Somebody, whoever he called to get me on the phone, they recorded the conversation. So yeah, lame as.
The video showed King climbing onto the counter, getting into a worker's personal space, and threatening the employee during the argument before eventually leaving with his corrected order. The clip spread across social media and followed him for a long time afterward. Ty later addressed the situation on his own Instagram Live. He said that he and other family members had spoken to King about what happened and were confused about how things escalated so quickly. Ty advised his son to focus on enjoying life and avoid getting pulled into negative situations online.
I don't give a f***. I got rich out being lame. All y'all in the comment section, I appreciate y'all.
But the controversies didn't stop there. In August 2022, King Harris reportedly faced legal trouble in Pickens County involving speeding, driving on a suspended license, and a DUI-related charge, adding another chapter to the growing list of headlines connected to his name. After the earlier charges, the situation got more complicated when King Harris reportedly missed his scheduled court date, which led to a bench warrant being issued. That warrant stayed active for quite some time before it finally caught up with him in October 2024. According to reports, Dunwoody police pulled over King's BMW after the vehicle nearly clipped a patrol car while leaving a gas station. During the stop, officers said they smelled a strong odor coming from the vehicle and also noticed a firearm holstered on his hip.
This just puts me right back in the algorithm. Comedy shows selling out. I'm on the new season of Drewski Could Have Been.
Because of the outstanding warrant connected to the earlier case, he was taken into custody and booked into DeKalb County Jail. However, the situation didn't last long. The warrant was later recalled, and King was released the following day. Even though it ended quickly, the arrest added another headline to the growing list of controversies surrounding the young rapper. But the moment that most clearly foreshadowed the later clash involving 50 Cent.
So y'all make sure y'all tune in. I got a new comedy tour that kick off next week, March 1st.
Actually happened earlier, in November 2023, during an Atlanta Falcons game. King was live streaming from a stadium suite when a heated argument suddenly broke out between him and his parents about how he had been raised.
In Pennsylvania, I got new merchandise at www.therealcharlestonwhite.com, so make sure you get that new nick.
The heart of the disagreement centered on King pushing back against the idea that he grew up privileged. During the stream, he insisted that much of his childhood was spent staying with his grandmother and that his upbringing was not as easy as people assumed. I challenged that claim during the argument and questioned whether King had really experienced the kind of struggles he was describing. Tiny also offered her perspective, explaining that King spent time at his grandmother's house mainly because he had more freedom there, not because the environment was tougher.
Merchandise. Let me see what else. I'm on a new season of Milk Boy. Shout out to.
As the discussion grew more intense, the moment turned physical when T.I. briefly put King in a headlock while telling him he was embarrassing himself in front of everyone. The live stream captured the entire exchange, and within hours, the clip had spread across social media everywhere.
Milk Boys, man. Steve will do his thing.
King's brother Domani later tried to calm things down publicly, calling the situation a misunderstanding and encouraging people to relax and let things settle. I also posted messages about family unity afterward, but by that point the internet had already seen the footage and people kept talking about it. The viral moment even triggered rumors online questioning whether T.I. was King's biological father. Tiny quickly shut those claims down and dismissed them completely, calling the speculation ridiculous and making it clear the rumors were not true. Charleston White watched all of these moments unfold online and quickly formed a strong opinion about the situation. From his perspective, what King Harris needed was discipline.
Yeah, Kyle and all the great guys over there, man. So y'all make sure y'all check me out. It's a new amazing season. Nelk.
Not applause from the internet. White believed too many people were encouraging the behavior instead of checking it, and he made that point loudly during his live stream commentary. When he talked about the Atlanta Falcons incident, White said the situation had multiple layers. On one hand, he admitted that King might have been expressing real frustration, but at the same time, White argued that he also saw a sense of entitlement building underneath the anger that was being displayed online.
Island of Love, Miami, so make sure y'all tune into that, nigga.
Looking straight into the camera during his stream, White spoke directly to King. He said King was born into opportunities that many kids from tough neighborhoods could only dream about. According to White, King wasn't growing up in dangerous street conditions or struggling just to survive. In White's words, King was living comfortably, and the anger he showed online felt more like entitlement than someone truly standing on business.
Just marketing, promoting, and advertising. I'm sorry y'all are so caught up into these celebrity lives where y'all taking it personal, but I just want to show y'all the hypocrisy.
That phrase, standing on business, actually became part of another small internet dispute in 2024. King had a brief disagreement with comedian Rusky, claiming he helped popularize the phrase after the Falcons incident. When Rusky used the phrase in a comedy skit, King responded online and said he was ready to confront him about it.
Man, he always talking about dead people, but as soon as your favorite celebrity children talk about 50.
For a moment, it looked like the situation might turn into something bigger, but the two eventually handled it calmly at the Quavo Huncho Day event. Rusky later confirmed that King did show up in person and the conversation was settled face-to-face without any drama. Then in January 2025, King went viral again after speaking openly about his relationship with the mother of his son, Jania Nana Epps. During the discussion, King explained that they had an open relationship and said she already knew about his interactions with other women. He told viewers not to try exposing him for something his partner was already aware of.
Since dead mother, now it's okay. Ooh, he's somebody finally for the beat.
As expected, the internet had plenty to say about that moment too. The comment sections quickly split, with some people supporting his honesty, while others strongly disagreed with the situation. As expected, the reactions online were completely split. Some people respected the honesty and felt King was simply being transparent about his personal life. Others saw it very differently and felt it was reckless oversharing from a young father who seemed comfortable putting every part of his life on display for the internet. Then a more serious controversy surfaced in July 2025 when longtime accuser Sabrina Peterson once again made allegations involving T.I., Tiny, and King Harris. Peterson claimed there were situations involving trafficking and exploitation.
50. They done made song dissing his dead mama. Ooh, he finally finna get took down. But y'all was just on 50 side with Diddy. Y'all just on this.
And said she had evidence, including text messages she said were sent from King to a young woman she described as a victim. The Harris family strongly denied all of the accusations and said the claims were part of a personal dispute that had been ongoing since 2021. They described the allegations as false and damaging, insisting there was no truth behind them. No criminal charges were filed related to those claims. The family also pursued legal action for defamation, and some related civil cases ended with rulings against Peterson. In one decision, she was ordered to pay roughly $97,000. Even with all the headlines and online debates, the accusations themselves have never been proven in court.
Diddy. Ooh, somebody finally finna take him down. They love you, they hate you, they hate you, they love you. I just come to be hated, guys. I don't want the little T.I. sister. And I put any nigga mad about it. I mace any mother.
All of this background helps explain the reputation King Harris carried into February 2026. By that time, many people already saw him as passionate, extremely loyal to his family, and quick to react when he felt someone disrespected them. He also had a reputation for pushing situations further than most people expected. Meanwhile, the conflict involving T.I. and King Harris was only one part of a bigger picture surrounding 50 Cent at the time. Throughout 2025 and into early 2026, 50 seemed to be juggling multiple feuds at once.
My face about it. The Tiny, T.I. and King included. I got rich off this shit, nigga. You think I'm gonna stop now because the water's with your favorite celebrity? No, listen, me and 50 been.
His strategy was very recognizable too. Instead of dropping diss tracks, he often leaned on internet tactics like memes, reposted clips, old footage, and sarcastic Instagram captions to keep the pressure on his rivals while the entire internet watched the drama unfold. One of the biggest situations 50 Cent was dealing with during this period involved Big Meech, and that tension seemed to come more from feelings of betrayal than simple competition. For years, 50 had been closely connected to the BMF story after executive producing the Starz series BMF, which even starred Big Meech's son, Lil Meech, in a leading role. The show helped bring the Black Mafia family story back into the spotlight and became a major hit. But things shifted after Big Meech was released from prison in early 2025.
Man, me and G-Unit been around for a long time, nigga. What's understood ain't got to be explained. They really mad.
After serving roughly 18 years of his 30-year sentence, the moment was celebrated with a big welcome home concert on February 13th, and Rick Ross was heavily involved in the event. That connection immediately raised eyebrows and seemed to trigger tension with 50 Cent. Soon after, 50 started posting cryptic memes and old photos online, including booking images and captions hinting at betrayal. Some posts referenced Tammy Cowens, a former BMF associate who has been publicly linked to cooperation with federal authorities. In several captions, 50 even tagged Meech and made bold comments that got people talking across the internet.
Oh, they really mad that you need to stay out of it, man. Trump, nigga, you go pay your bills. Nigga, the first is around the wheel.
He also made controversial claims about Lil Meech, suggesting the young actor had struggled with substance issues during the filming of the BMF series and needed professional help. Those statements added even more fuel to the already tense situation. Big Meech, however, kept his responses focused on loyalty and street codes. He repeatedly posted the phrase, "Death before dishonor," a slogan long connected to the BMF image and its reputation. The tension between them never fully exploded into one huge moment, but it stayed simmering throughout the rest of 2025 and beyond. The posts, responses, and subtle shots kept fans watching closely the entire time. Rick Ross also stepped deeper into the conversation, throwing his own comments into the mix. His rivalry with 50 Cent actually goes back to around 2009. According to G-Unit member Tony Yayo, the original issue started from a small moment at an industry event where 50 reportedly didn't greet Ross with a handshake, something Ross viewed as a sign of disrespect. From that moment, what started as a small misunderstanding slowly turned into a long-running feud. By August 2025, Ross added another jab when he posted a poolside video criticizing 50's early Interscope record deal, calling it terrible and questioning why no one around him pushed to renegotiate after his first album became such a huge success.
Pay your goddamn bills. You Charleston, stay out of this. Go make up with your baby mama. You stay out of this.
Rick Ross kept pushing the narrative with more subtle shots. At one point, he suggested that 50 Cent, the same man who once claimed he dominated the music industry, might have actually been outplayed by the business side of the game. The comment spread quickly and added even more tension to their already long-running rivalry. Ross also managed to connect himself to multiple pieces of the drama happening at the same time. He showed support during the Big Meech celebration, and he also inserted himself into the T.I. situation by backing King Harris after that diss track moment. When Ross commented that he wanted the shirt King wore, the one featuring 50 Cent's late mother, and even asked for it in a 3X, it was not just a casual compliment. Many fans saw that comment as a clear message. It felt like Ross was stepping directly into the conflict, almost like a public signal that he was ready to stand on that side of the battle.
Celebrity business. I'm a celebrity now, nigga. They paying attention to me. T.I. made a song about me. I made a song about him.
Meanwhile, another situation showed just how differently 50 Cent likes to handle his rivalries. His issue with Jim Jones turned into a perfect example of 50's signature style of internet trolling. Back in February 2020, 50 posted dated security footage showing Jim Jones along with Mano, Fabulous, and Dave East outside a Bronx podcast studio. According to reports, the group appeared to be trying to force open a locked door after the power and lights had been shut off due to unpaid rent. The video quality was grainy, but the timing of the post made it explode across social media. 50 followed it up by sharing eviction paperwork addressed to Joseph Jones, using Jim Jones's full legal name instead of his stage name.
Nigga, they made a song about 50. I'm finna go make another song about his dead sister. I'm finna make a song about kings. I'm not bullshit.
Which many people saw as a calculated level of disrespect. In the caption, 50 sarcastically asked if Jones wanted to be friends and joked that they should rap about the situation. He also claimed the studio owed somewhere between $80,000 and $180,000 through his building management company, IFC Management. The entire clash played out through screenshots, paperwork, and security footage instead of music. Somehow, that approach hit just as hard, proving again that 50 Cent often turns real-life situations into the most effective kind of public trolling.
Y'all can't stop me. Only thing gonna stop me is death. And even then, death ain't gonna stop me because they gonna replay all the videos all over.
People online joke that getting signed by your own landlord is a different kind of loss that no rap verse can fix. That whole Jim Jones situation showed how 50 Cent often wins battles without even stepping into the studio. Screenshots, paperwork, and perfectly timed posts can sometimes do more damage than a diss track. But one of the most personal and painful storylines connected to 50 Cent has nothing to do with other rappers. It involves his longtime public estrangement from his son, Marquise Jackson.
Again.
Their relationship has been one of the most talked about family divides in hip-hop for years. On Father's Day in 2025, Marquise posted another round of subtle but pointed memes that appeared to criticize his father. The post questioned whether 50's public image as a focused businessman and successful mogul matched the private reality of their relationship. The internet quickly picked up on the tension behind those messages.
Can't nothing stop me, nigga. And I'm getting ready to get on stage in Cleveland, nigga, with Tamir Rice's mama.
Throughout 2025 and into early 2026, Marquise was also seen spending time around people connected to 50's rivals. At one point, he appeared around Lil Meech and others close to Big Meech, which immediately fueled more online reactions and gave 50's critics something new to talk about.
So I am hosting the Tamir Rice Foundation. Tomorrow I'm doing a youth exposition.
Their complicated history already included the viral 2022 moment when 50 Cent offered $6,700 for what he described as 24 hours of quality time with his son. Some people viewed that offer as a peace attempt, while others believed it sounded more like a sarcastic jab. Because of that history, many people online noticed the irony when King Harris brought up 50 Cent's mother during the feud. The internet quickly pointed out that the conflict had now pulled multiple family relationships into the spotlight at once, adding another complicated layer to the entire situation.
I'm doing a youth exposition tomorrow in Cleveland. When I leave Cleveland, I'm going to Detroit.
When you step back and look at all these situations involving Big Meech, Rick Ross, Jim Jones, and even Marquise Jackson, one pattern becomes impossible to ignore. 50 Cent seems to follow a very calculated, almost algorithm-like strategy when it comes to conflict. Instead of responding with music the way most rappers would, 50 usually answers with content.
I'm doing the Antoine Daniel. I got another show next weekend, another show weekend out there, another.
Memes, screenshots, old clips, paperwork, edited images, and perfectly timed posts suddenly appear online whenever tension starts building. Even the posts he deletes later seem carefully timed to keep people talking. While his rivals release diss tracks hoping for a lyrical battle, 50 drops Instagram posts and lets the internet do the rest. Somehow, despite not stepping into the booth, he still manages to stay right at the center of the conversation every single time.
So I'm booked every weekend to the end of December. Do you think I'm not?
At this point, many fans say he has practically turned trolling into its own empire. The microphone is no longer the main weapon. His phone is the weapon, and the internet has become the battlefield where everything plays out in real time. That's the bigger context behind the situation with T.I. and King Harris. By the time T.I. revived the Versus conversation and King jumped into the feud, 50 Cent was already dealing with multiple conflicts happening at once, and his reaction to King followed the exact same formula. Instead of dropping a song, he responded with memes, Pepe comparisons, edited childhood photos, and strategic silence. It was the same method he had been using with Meech, Ross, Jim Jones, and even his own son. From the 50's perspective, King didn't get special treatment. He was simply placed in the same category as everyone else. Another situation to manage through posts and captions instead of direct confrontation. Meanwhile, the internet exploded with reactions. Fans quickly picked sides and debated every post, every meme, and every response like a courtroom where people had already decided the outcome before the arguments even began.
Gonna get into this big melee? What kind of n**** y'all think I am?
Memes spread across social media faster than any diss track could, turning the entire situation into a viral spectacle that millions of people were watching unfold in real time. Fans across the internet followed every single move in this situation with intense attention. People tracked every post, every deletion, and every response like reporters covering a full-scale hip-hop battle. Discussions exploded everywhere as fans argued about one big question. Where exactly is the line between defending your mother and disrespecting someone else's deceased family member? Reactions quickly split almost right down the middle. Each side dug in so deeply that almost nothing the other side said could change their minds. The debate became intense, emotional, and sometimes surprisingly thoughtful as people tried to explain their positions. On X, posts about King Harris's rant pulled in massive engagement, with some threads gathering tens of thousands of interactions. Some supporters praised King for standing up for his mother, arguing that he showed real loyalty and heart by defending his family publicly. Others reacted very differently. A large group of fans strongly criticized the comments about 50 Cent's mother, saying references to someone's grave crossed an unwritten rule in hip-hop culture. For them, honoring the dead is a boundary that should never be violated, no matter how heated the feud becomes. Reddit discussions went even deeper and split into multiple side debates that could have lasted for weeks on their own. Some users argued that 50 Cent had taken losses in several past rivalries and only clearly dominated the famous battle with Ja Rule, which happened during a time when he had strong backing from major figures like Eminem and Dr. Dre. Others focused on 50's personal life, pointing to his long-running public conflict with his son Marquise. In their view, someone who publicly jokes about their own family issues should be careful about claiming that family boundaries are sacred. Charleston White's role in the situation also sparked heavy debate. His supporters said he was simply being consistent and calling out behavior he believed crossed the line, even if it meant criticizing powerful names in the industry. Charleston White's comments also divided the audience. His supporters argued that he had always been consistent about one thing: bringing deceased family members into an argument crosses a serious line no matter who does it. From their point of view, White was simply standing on the same principle he had been talking about for years. But his critics saw something completely different. They accused him of selective outrage and chasing attention from the drama. Some people pointed out that White had criticized Tiny Harris many times in the past without drawing the same level of outrage from the internet. Now suddenly, many of those same voices were backing his moral stance. Rick Ross jumping into the moment only made the debate even louder. When Ross publicly supported King Harris and commented about wanting the shirt from the diss video, the one with 50 Cent's late mother printed on it, fans immediately started arguing about his intentions. Some people called it real loyalty, saying Ross was standing beside someone who was defending his family. Others believed it looked more like opportunity than loyalty. In their view, Ross already had years of rivalry with 50 Cent, and supporting anything that embarrassed his longtime opponent was simply part of that ongoing feud. Ross's involvement also forced fans to ask an uncomfortable question. Did that shirt, a piece of merchandise featuring the image of a deceased woman worn in a music video connected to a feud, represent a new low point in rap beef culture? Or was it simply the extreme result of a genre that has often turned personal pain and real-life conflict into public entertainment? While all of this debate exploded online, T.I. appeared to be channeling the attention into something else entirely. He began tying the moment into promotion for Kill the King, which he described as his final album. With decades of experience in the industry, T.I. seemed to understand exactly how controversy can drive attention. Every argument, headline, and viral moment was suddenly feeding more curiosity about the project and pulling even more eyes toward the rollout. Right in the middle of all the chaos, T.I. dropped the lead single, Let 'Em Know, produced by Pharrell Williams and paired with a slick video directed by Hype Williams. The timing could not have been louder. The song landed while the beef conversations were still exploding online, and the attention helped push the track onto the Billboard Hot 100, reaching around number 43, which became T.Y.'s highest solo chart position in more than a decade. The music video leaned heavily into style and legacy. Luxury cars cruised through the streets of Atlanta and Miami, while Pharrell made a cameo appearance, adding major production credibility to the moment. Young Dro also popped in with ad-libs, creating a bridge between T.I.'s earlier era and the current chapter of his career. That mix of old energy and new momentum gave the record a powerful feeling. It sounded nostalgic but also aggressive. Like T.I. was reminding everyone exactly where he stands in the rap game. Around the same time, T.I. confirmed during the 2026 Grammy events that he planned to retire after releasing the album Kill the King. He described the project as his final statement after roughly 25 years in the industry, a closing chapter meant to define his legacy, and it became clear that the surrounding drama was fueling the rollout in a major way. The controversy created attention, and the music gave that attention direction. The two forces fed off each other almost perfectly. The timing especially stood out. T.I. dropped the song War the same night King Harris's rant started spreading across social media. The lyrics talked about waking a sleeping giant and disturbing a hibernating bear, delivered with the intensity of someone who had been waiting for the moment to respond. Then the next day, another record arrived called The Right One, where T.I. questioned why 50 Cent seemed to bring that same aggressive energy mainly toward people from his own community. Within the same week, he followed up again with Lessons, accompanied by artwork showing a skeletal version of 50 Cent. The visual alone sent the internet into another round of debate. More snippets connected to the Kill the King rollout kept appearing right alongside the headlines. Every teaser, every clip, and every track seemed perfectly timed with whatever drama was trending that day. It almost looked like a promotional calendar built around controversy, where every headline became free advertising and every comment section turned into a live focus group. King Harris and Damani both dropped their own records within days of each other, adding even more noise to the situation. Even T.I.'s track What Bully entered the mix, throwing shots about 50 Cent's long history of targeting smaller names while avoiding fights that could punch back just as hard. At that point, the Harris household looked less like a family reacting to drama and more like a full-time content machine running non-stop. Songs, posts, reactions, and videos were coming out constantly, feeding the conversation day after day. Some industry voices, including DJ Academics, even compared the spectacle to the cultural energy of Drake versus Kendrick. But that comparison actually highlighted how different the situation really was. Drake and Kendrick battled directly with bars going back and forth. Here, T.I. and his sons were dropping track after track, while 50 Cent stayed completely silent on Wax. The music side of the battle became almost one-sided. Depending on who you asked, that either meant T.I. was clearly running up the scoreboard, or it meant 50 had mastered a different strategy, controlling the entire conversation without releasing a single verse. Either way, the internet kept watching every move. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment letting us know your thoughts on the situation. And check out the next video on your screen for more stories just like this.